That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you live from the Ask a Male blog, apartment, and office, answering your questions today about why men do the weird things that we do. So coming to you live today at the apartment, we're answering a brand new question submitted to us a few weeks ago by an anonymous writer. Why do men say we're too tired for sex, but will secretly choose Jill? Now, I had to ask the question, so who's Jill? Are you talking about why are men cheating? She said, no. Jill is your right hand. So again, I had to extrapolate a little bit. Does that mean your right hand or our right hand? Because fact is, not all guys are righties. Some of us are lefties and some of us are ambidextrous. So that leaves it an open question. But let me expound a little bit on this thought. Why would one man say, I'm too tired for sex, and then turn around and say yoo-hoo to his woohoo? Any man who's effectively saying one thing and doing something else is trying to cover for something. Deep down, he's got some kind of emotional issue that he's wrestling with, and he's trying to find a way to deal with it. Now, guys will tell you, at least we like to tell the women that we are interested in, that when we march our penguin, we like to say that it's blowing our nose, but it's really a lot more complicated than that. See, for most guys, in order to jerk our gherkin, we actually have to think about something that we find arousing. So we have to fantasize and picture situations that we find sexually appealing, and that's what turns us on, and we then proceed with this fantasy in our head of what we need to do to accomplish our happy ending goal. So when a guy is saying, I'm not really aroused and too tired to have sex with you, but he's picturing something else in his head, that sends off a really big red flag to me. Now, as a guy, we get a lot of bad raps sometimes when it comes to lying and cheating, and the truth is it's a people thing. People do this. They make up scenarios and they lie about it because they're trying to cover for something else that they're dealing with within themselves. So the red flag that it says to me is, I can't discuss with you why I'm not aroused or turned on at this moment to have sex with you, but I'm going to force myself to be aroused to have sex with myself and therefore achieve my gratuitous goal. Ladies, you got a big problem here, and this is what I'm going to advise you need to do. If you're facing this situation and a guy says, I'm too tired to have sex, but he's in the bathroom for a really long period of time and coming out happy, you need to sit down and say, we need to have a polite and safe conversation. I need to know what you're wrestling with and dealing with because I don't feel like my needs are getting met. The instinctual response is always going to be, what's wrong with me that he has to choose this? And that's not the case. At least most of the time, it's probably not the case. It's not you, it's us. And I know that sounds like a cop-out excuse. Not the truth. The real scenario is we're obviously dealing with an emotional issue. It could be anything. It could be I don't feel secure or adequate to be having sex at this point in time. But there was this scenario that I never got to finish way back when that I'm going to picture in my head that I'm going to finish out. It could very well be that there is an issue that he's trying to wrestle with. Maybe he's attracted to somebody else. Maybe he's picturing somebody else. That's going to be a hard conversation to have. The only way you're going to find out the real truth of the matter is to make a safe place where both parties can share their feelings and both parties can do it with respect. How do you create that safe space? Well, it's pretty easy. You wait for a moment where everything is calm and peaceful and say, hey honey, can I talk to you about something that bothers me? And then begin to be frank and spell it out. Hey, I'm a little bit concerned that you're spending some time playing with your trouser snake and not really playing with my things. Ask him why. Why do you need to do that when you've got me? Is it something that you're really struggling with? Is it something that you're not telling me? Are you not feeling adequate? And then listen. Don't react. Because the moment you start reacting, it's no longer a safe space. Just listen to what we have to say. Dudes, be frank. If you really are cheating, be honest. All right, so I had this problem. I did it, and I'm sorry. If you're feeling inadequate about being with the lady you're with, you're feeling insecure, like you're not quite worth her, obviously she's choosing you, dude, for a reason. So be blunt with her and say, I'm struggling. I don't feel like I deserve the woman I'm with. Dudes, if you're dealing with an emotional issue that you had a long time ago, that you're trying to work through with righty or lefty, you might need to get some actual counseling help. Some things you got to deal with and you got to let go if you want to move on. That's from one dude to another. The only way good relationships progress is through open, safe, honest communication, where even the dirty details like, I gotta play with my one-eyed Willie, have to be something that you address between each other. And it's got to be something that is done out of respect. Everybody masturbates. Not everybody talks about it. Some dudes just flat out won't. We're too embarrassed. And we're too afraid to say why sometimes. Now, I'm honestly not going to go into my details as to why I do it. I mean, that's just too personal to share on a YouTube blog, and there's far too much of that out there. But I will just flat out come out and say, if your dude is not being honest about what his needs are and what he's dealing with, you've got a red flag. Your first step is just to ask and talk about it. If he's not willing to talk about it, maybe it's time to rethink and run. Don't walk away. Now, obviously, no question is off limits for the Ask a Male blog. Anything that even is remotely, possibly squeamish or embarrassing, we'll gladly take on. So please, add a like, hit that subscribe button down at the bottom, and every Saturday now, we will be answering a fresh new question for you on this Ask a Male blog. Please, share the hell out of this video. If you have a question, leave us a comment below, or send us a private message, and we may use your question on the next Ask a Male blog question. Thank you, and please share the hell out of this.